We cannot start without Adrian Wojnarowski. And Woj, it's already been an especially busy morning, especially for the New York Knicks. What more can you tell us?
Really, for the Knicks, fulfilling their needs at this trade deadline, Bojan Bogdanovic, Alec Burks from the Detroit Pistons, giving them shooting, playoff experience, depth. You know, this is a team, a Knicks team, certainly as deep, 1 through 10, 11, is anyone in the East. There are certainly teams with better players at the very top, but this is a Knicks team that is going to, I think, counter that with this kind of veteran scoring help. Quentin Grimes is a player that can be plugged in right now, but the Knicks, they get Bogdanovic and Burks, 2 players who help them now, and they're able to keep their flexibility moving forward if this summer they want to get involved with perhaps an all-NBA level player who becomes available in trades. Philadelphia was after both Bogdanovic and Burks. Other teams, the Knicks closed that deal this morning.
Woj, thank you. We know you're busy. We're going to let you get back to it. We'll have you back in just a little bit. But one of the biggest questions for the Knicks, right, guys, was how are they going to round out their bench? They were 24th in bench scoring, and these moves certainly seem to shore that up a little bit. Does this, Richard, catapult them to contender status?
I don't know about contender status, but their team is better. We have to understand that the teams in front of them were outstanding teams. Again, when you were talking about before Joel Embiid went down, he might have been the best player of the world. Boston, fully loaded. They're trying to catch up to Boston, in my opinion. But what I like about this trade is they have more players that can create shots for themselves. I love Josh Hart. I love Dante DiVincenzo. They're shooters, but they're not creators. They're not shot creators for themselves or others to a certain degree. When you add Bogdanovic, when you add Alec Burks, these are guys that, yeah, they can create for others. They can catch and shoot. They can play within the system. But if you need them to go get a bucket, you can give them the ball and they can go get a bucket. I think that is the biggest addition, in my opinion, to what they just got.
You were here yesterday.
Correct.
You were here yesterday, and you were here. He wasn't, right? And you remember what the words I uttered out of my mouth, yours truly, when I said what? If a person show you who they are, what you got to do, Shanae?
You got to believe
You
them.
damn right. And I said it yesterday, and I was talking about the Knicks putting themselves in position and how they're actually contending right now. Right? And adding these 2 pieces, when you add Bogdanovic, when you add Alec Burks, the only thing that the Knicks were missing was depth. And right now, they're deeper than the Pacific Ocean. And everybody else in the Eastern Conference need to get life jackets, including the Boston Celtics. This New York Knicks team is a legit title contender this season. And if anybody else say anything different, then they haven't been watching the Knicks play. When you look at Tom Thibodeau, they have established since the day one their identity on both ends of the floor. And now you add more offensive firepower with the addition that they already added in OG Anunoby. This team is deep. They have 0 flaws. They have a closer in Jalen Brunson. This team is ready right now to compete for a title.
This is what we've been waiting for. This is what the NBA has been waiting for. And what we're witnessing right now is the rebirth of the Knicks in real time. And they're doing it the right way. I said it yesterday. What I love about this pick is that they're able to get someone that bolsters their depth. You saw those numbers, 20 points per game, creating your own shot. These are all pieces that work together harmoniously. And so when I woke up this morning, I saw the Woj alert. I was like, they're the real deal. They're here, they've arrived, they're contenders. They play defense, and they're really good,
Yeah, so the Knicks are in a position where they've got some injury problems right now. OG Anunoby, they changed his injury designation yesterday to elbow spur, which is something that's not necessarily going to resolve itself short term. Julius Randle still with evaluation coming on his shoulder injury. Mitchell Robinson out with the ankle injury. So this is the team that needs help right now. And also, if they're going to get what you say, Perk, they got to try to get that number 2 seed. The number 2 seed is important over this next 3 or 4 weeks as they get healthy. So these moves get them an opportunity that they can compete for that number 2 seed as they get healthier. And I would also say it's important that they have now gone through this season and added Anunoby, Bogdanovic, Burks, wing players who can play both ends of the court, who are good three-point shooters, and they did not give up a first-round pick in any of those deals, and they're still sitting there holding 8 in their kitty that they can trade, and when we get to this summer, those are going to be on offer for a star player.
Yeah, now Perk, you brought up Boston, and I love that because who has Boston lost to 2 out of the last 3 years? Miami Heat, right? They've lost to the Miami Heat. And why have they? Because Miami Heat are relentless. Their defense, their approach, their attack. We have complained about Boston shooting too many threes. Well, when you play against a grinded team, and that's what the Knicks are. I will say this. Look, when we talk about 20 points a game, there's a sliding scale. It was on Detroit. It was a sliding scale. I'm not going to fault. I think he's about 15 to 17 on a great team like this.
I agree, but I made those same assumptions when Boston got Kristaps Porzingis and we were talking about what he was doing for the Washington Wizards, right? But when I think about all the people around the world, they just kept saying they need a superstar. They need a superstar. Shut up. No, they don't. No, they don't.
You know who knows they need a superstar?
Who?
The Knicks. That's why they're holding on to those picks to trade.
Wait, really quickly, too. To your point, though, to me, the build that they're doing is kind of like the 04 Pistons. When you had Rip Hamilton, you had Rasheed Wallace, you had Ben Wallace, you had Tayshaun Prince, and then you had depth. I played against that team. Lost to them in 7 games. They are a well-balanced team. This team, to me, they're a grinded-out team. Yeah. And they went to 5 straight Eastern Conference
Who was the Finals MVP?
Chauncey Billups.
One of the most underrated players
and
in
if you were to give me a comp, maybe like
seasons.
Obviously the game is different, but Chauncey Billups to me reminds me of a Brunson, a late-game finisher, a late-game closer. Does he have the superstar? No. But you could win a championship if you build this out the right way. Yeah, they might want a superstar, but we've seen superstars.
I love you when I don't see you for a few days.
I disagree with you, Richard. I know you're looking at Bogdanovic and you're saying that, hey, all right, that's a sliding scale.
Yep. It is a sliding scale.
But did you know his effective field goal percentage, which means it's the value of the point, is 65%. When he shoots the ball, it goes almost in at 70% rate. He's also one of the best pick-and-roll shooters and creators in basketball. So you're saying that, hey, like these pieces, they all add up in a way that is harmonious, that, they still need a superstar, but right now they're contenders without one, and that is the best case scenario.
If you can be a contender without a superstar and you still have all of your picks for the most part to build out a roster, they're in an outstanding place to be. I only say that to say a sliding scale. To the Knicks fans, you are not getting a 20-point-a-game scorer. For the Knicks, in my opinion, especially when Julius Randle comes, you're getting a guy that is going to be extremely efficient, like Janae said, 15, 17, he'll hit 20s, but don't just look at that.
System.
No, I love it. I'm
So, Brian, are the Knicks done for now?
They are. I believe that they are done for now, but they are not done building this team. And look, I think you guys are selling a nice story that you can win in the modern NBA without a megastar. I think you need 2. You want to argue they already got 1 in Jalen Brunson? I'll go with you. They need another one, and they're going to go for that, and we'll see if they get there.
So what does that look like this summer? Let's draw it out a little bit.
Well, we don't know who's going to be available yet, and I think it's dangerous to say that. But what they've done have done 2 things. One, they have stockpiled picks and assets. One of the reasons that this trade makes so much sense is if Bogdanovic has a team option for next year, they can roll him over and use him in a trade. They can cut him and let him go, or they can keep him and play him. And they are a team where you want to play. They're in a city that is desirable. They have a team that you want to play on, and they have the assets to make a trade. It is the holy triangle of what you need. What they're missing is in the middle of that, which is a super megastar saying, send me to New York.
Well, guess what? If they do fall short this upcoming postseason, they have made themselves eye candy. Because if you're a superstar and you're disgruntled and you're not happy with the situation that you're in, you want to go play with the New York Knicks right now.
Well, no, I agree. And you talked about making themselves eye candy. Don't forget, when the Brooklyn Nets made the postseason that first year, Kevin Durant, Kyrie, they looked at that team.
Right.
When the Clippers made the postseason without a superstar, that's when Kawhi, that's when Paul George were like, oh, we're not coming here to be saviors. We're coming here to add to what you guys are doing. So I think the New York Knicks are in a similar spot as when you look at the Clippers and when you look at the Nets, when they added those big-time free agents or those disgruntled players.
This is going to be a beautiful 4 hours. You know, you agreed with me at 3 times in the first 12 minutes.
The nonsense
You need a pen? Do you want to keep a tally for the rest of the show?
All
right, you're keeping a tally. Yeah, the New York Knicks have made themselves certainly attractive, and they're already. By the way, let's not overlook this year. They really could make a push for at least the conference finals, particularly with the injuries that we're looking at the top of the East, the lackluster way that we've seen the Milwaukee Bucks play recently. it's not out of the question that we could see the New York Knicks. We've had a lot of action this morning, so it's time to go coast to coast on the trades so far. We're going to start with the 76ers acquiring Buddy Hield from the Pacers for a package involving 3 second-rounders. Only Steph Curry has made more threes than Hield since the new Sixer entered the league, while Philly averages the 4th fewest three-pointers per game this season. Shanae, how do you like this for the 76ers?
I love this pickup. They've got a floor spacer, a bucket getter. I love that number that no one has made more threes than Buddy since Steph. And then also, they're 19th in three-point shooting, so this is going to be a quick boost. They still need help in the middle, though.
How about the Raptors? They're acquiring Kelly Olynyk and a 2022 first-rounder for Ochai Agbaji in a deal involving a 2024 first-rounder going back to Utah. Olynyk is averaging 8 points per game and is a mainstay on the Canadian national team. But could he be on the move again, Brian?
I don't think so. The Raptors have done another deal where they just salary dumped Dennis Schroeder in a deal with the Nets. So they seem to be a little buying and selling, and they love to have Canadians.
Well, how about the Mavericks? They're loading up, getting P.J. Washington from the Hornets for Grant Williams, Seth Curry, and a future first. What do you think of this one, Rich?
No, I like PJ. I think he's going to fit with their team very, very well. Look, he can do a little bit. He can play. He can space the floor. I like it. They need more help in Dallas. That is very, very factual, and I think they got some.
Well, how about the Oklahoma City Thunder? We've been wondering what they're going to do with some of the assets they've been stockpiling. They're acquiring a versatile wing in veteran Gordon Hayward in a deal that involves Trey Mann and Davis Bertans. What do you think of this one, Perk?
I like it. I don't love it. I feel like this is a move because Josh Giddey has not been that great this season. So I feel them filling in the void to help out SGA and Jalen Williams.
Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports here. I hope you guys enjoyed the trade deadline. If you missed it, here's the breakdown. In my opinion, you got to admit, I know a lot of people disagree with this, but a lot of people do agree with this. The Knicks. When this trade broke, I was kind of like, wow, they actually got Bogdanovic. Now, Bogdanovic is so damn good. Like, this guy can flat out score, right? His defense is okay, but this guy can flat out score. And what the Knicks needed was a bench, right? Because Tom Thibodeau relies on his stars way too much. Hey, OG Anunoby is injured. Julius Randle. Then you got Brunson. He's injured too, right? So now, instead of giving your starters 40 minutes a night, you can actually rely on the bench. Because now you got Alec Burks and you got Bogdanovic. I don't know who's coming off the bench, but you got a fairly good damn team, right? You've got a fairly good damn team, and a lot of people are saying the Knicks are contenders now. I got to see it. I got to see it to believe it, but the Knicks, you got to give them props. Like Stephen A. says, orange and blue skies, I fully expect him on tomorrow's first take to go off, right? And, you know, not go off in a bad way, but go off in a good way, because now you got a damn good team. Every person in New York should be excited. Very good day for New Yorkers. And at the end of the day, you guys did damn good. Got to give props to Philly. Philly got Buddy Hield. Now, it was reported that Kelly Olynyk was going to go to Philly, but he ended up going to the Raptors. Philly got Buddy Hield in this, and they got a pretty good damn team. The only thing I don't like is the fact that they got rid of Pat Bev. Pat Bev, his leadership is undeniable. You cannot question that. His defense is tenacious. He is a killer on the defensive end. You know, offensive end, he's okay. But defensive end, you can't match that. But hey, you guys got Campaign in this. I believe it's a second round pick as well. So you guys did okay. I'm going to get to the off season for the Sixers in a minute. I just want to run through these. Lakers didn't do anything. They're going to do something in the buyout market. Just wait for it. Dallas, they got rid of, or not rid of, but they traded for Grant Williams. They traded Grant Williams to Charlotte Hornets, and I believe it was Seth Curry for P.J. Washington. Not bad for both teams, actually. And yeah, no, Detroit waived Killian Hayes. They got a number of guys from the New York Knicks. Warriors didn't do anything except for a trade Cory Joseph. They might do something. Well, actually, they can't do anything because they're over the cap space. I'll get to that in a minute. Clippers didn't do anything. They could have bought out PJ Tucker, but PJ Tucker didn't agree to it, so they are standing pat with their team. Rightfully so. They're looking pretty good right now. Denver Nuggets, they didn't do anything. Milwaukee Bucks obviously got Pat Bev in this situation. Kudos to the Bucks on that one. And I know I'm missing a lot of teams here, but Dennis Schroeder got traded to the Nets for Spencer Dinwiddie, and the Raptors bought out Dinwiddie, so he is on the top of the buyout market. The Pistons bought out Joe Harris, so he's no longer a Piston. He's going to be on the market as well. Robin Lopez got traded to the Sacramento Kings. He'll be put on the buyout market. Marcus Morris got traded to the Spurs for, I believe it was, first he got traded to the Pacers. Then he got traded to the Spurs. He's going to get bought out in exchange for Doug McDermott, who can flat out score the ball but can't play defense. So, a lot of stuff happened today. Now, why didn't the Lakers do anything? Because it doesn't make any sense. Because DeJounte Murray was being shopped around with the Lakers, was being shopped around with the Pelicans. The reason why it didn't work out with the Pelicans was because the Pelicans didn't want to give up Herb Jones. I can't blame them. Herb Jones is legit. He knows how to play the damn ball. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like he's an up-and-coming superstar. Or I wouldn't say superstar. He's an up-and-coming star, right? So DeJounte Murray is staying put. Now, let's talk about the buyout market. And Lakers didn't do anything, and a couple other teams didn't do anything as well. So now you have guys like I just mentioned, Dinwiddie, Joe Harris, Marcus Morris, Robin Lopez, Killian Hayes, just to name a few. They're on the buyout market right now. And quite frankly, teams that are over the cap cannot go after anyone on the buyout market, like Clippers. I believe it's the Warriors. The Suns obviously can't. Oh, by the way, Suns got Royce O'Neal. Good trade on that one. Boston got Jaden Springer from the Philadelphia 76ers. So good on them. They obviously got Tillman a couple days ago, and they look pretty damn good too. So there's rumors out there that buyout market candidate Spencer Dinwiddie is either expected to go to Dallas, go to the Sixers, or go to the Lakers. Joe Harris might do the same, but he can't go to the Phoenix Suns. He can't join Kevin Durant. There's no way, because they are over the cap. So it's either, like, I'm guessing Joe Harris is going to stick to either the Sixers, the Lakers, or the Mavericks, right? Now let's talk about Marcus Morris. We don't know where he's going to go. You have a lot of teams out there, but this is the buyout market, which will come, and they got to, go through the standard process for the buyout market. But let's talk about the main thing. Now, this was just announced. I know they've been talking about for like a couple weeks now. This was just announced. If Paul George does not get an extension, the 76ers are expected to pursue Paul George in the offseason. Now, let me just run this by you for a second here. Another buyout candidate potential is Kyle Lowry, which the Philadelphia 76ers are expected to make him top priority as a point guard. in the buyout market. But in the offseason, they're expected to pursue Paul George. Now, how does the Philadelphia 76ers fans feel about Paul George, his injury history? But then I'm not doing strictly negative here. I know he's got the injury history, but he is one of the most elite players you've got to see, right? This guy is a phenomenal player. How do you guys feel about Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey, along with all the other assets that the Philadelphia 76ers actually have? How do you guys feel about that? I think it would be a fairly good damn team, right? I think it would be a fairly good team because now you actually have the capability of making it pretty far in the playoffs. Where do they stand pat right now? I'll tell you one thing. The Knicks got better. The Celtics got better. And I don't know about the Bucks. The Bucks, they got to prove it to me. On paper, with Pat Bev, maybe he can do something on the defensive end, hold guys accountable. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to transpire in the locker room. But yeah, no, it's pretty crazy rumor out there for Paul George and the 76ers. But as of right now, you have a very tough Eastern Conference. Let's go over the Western Conference. It's all about the buyout market right now for the Lakers, all about the buyout market for a couple other teams out there. Can the Clippers actually guard Joker? That was the question that was posed to the NBA panel. Bob Myers says nobody in the entire NBA can guard Joker. Kendrick Perkins is saying Clippers are going to win the title. We're going to see what happens on that note. You got a bunch of guys that are looking forward to the buyout market. A lot of teams out there as well. Lakers, they are desperate for the buyout market right now because they didn't do a damn thing right now. And they're looking forward to getting Joe Harris, looking forward to getting Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't know how true that those rumors are, but they're expected to pursue them in the buyout market for sure. But back to the Paul George thing. Paul George on the 76ers in the offseason, if that goes down, that's pretty damn good. I'll give him that. If Daryl Morey can pull off Paul George to the 76ers in this offseason, if Paul George does not sign with the Clippers as an extension, how do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about Paul George as a 76er in the offseason? Who is going where? Buyout market, where are they going to? How do you guys feel about the trade deadline? Did your team get who they wanted to? And last but not least, who won this trade deadline? I know a lot of people are saying the Knicks. The question is, who won the trade deadline, right? I'm not saying who is the number one contender. I'm saying who won the trade deadline, right? My answer is who won this trade deadline was the Knicks. Because the Knicks got a sharpshooter and they got a damn good point guard in Alec Burks that can come off the bench. Question is, who won the trade deadline? Not who's going to be a contender. Who won the trade deadline? Leave a comment in the comment section. Every single thing that happened today expected to happen in the buyout market and obviously expected to happen in the offseason. Is Paul George going to become a 76er? Leave a comment in the comment section. As always, Jag from Jaggy Sports.